Hello everyone, welcome to the MMA Rundown. I'm Drew Shannon, dressed in my Sunday best apparently, alongside Albert Cameron as always. Albert, how you doing?
Drew, I'm having a great day. It was a great week with the MMA Rundown. I think we're going to top it this week. We've got 10 whole episodes in, including this one.
We made it to number 10. They said it wouldn't last.
We got news, notes. We got a brand new segment called The Rundown's Most Wanted.
That's going to be an interesting one.
We got the mailbag as always. We got fights. We got interviews.
We got tweets. You can tweet Albert Cameron during the MMA Rundown. How can they do that?
Well, follow me at Cameron Rundown. Use the hashtag MMA Rundown. And all during this episode, you and I can tweet live. You can ask questions, make comments. Your tweets might even make it in the mailbag.
Okay, there you go.
But all during this episode, we're going to tweet and interact with each other. And as soon as we come back from our break, we're going to get right into the news and notes.
All right, news and notes coming up next on the MMA Rundown, only on ABC 23. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown on ABC 23. It's that time of the show once again where we take a look at news.
We got news, notes. Drew, let's get started.
All right, it's go time. Frankie Edgar is moving down to UFC's featherweight division. The insiders are saying that the move is necessary for a title shot. What do you know about that, Albert?
Frankie Edgar is a former UFC lightweight champion. Lost the title. He's been trying to fight his way back into the scene. Since Frankie Edgar's been the lightweight champion, the UFC has instituted flyweight and bantamweight weight classes. The lightweight division is so stacked at this point that a lot of folks are saying that it's too stacked against Frankie Edgar's favor. So now Frankie Edgar is going to get down to featherweight. He is going to get into title contention much sooner than he would at lightweight, and that's where that buzz is coming from.
All right.
Frankie Edwards trained at Clarion University. Studied at Clarion University here in Pennsylvania.
Did he train or did he study?
He studied.
Okay.
Studied. He trains in Vegas, I believe, but he's actually studied here at Clarion University.
All right. Little factoid for you, in case you need to know it. All right. Olympic judo gold medalist Kayla Harrison has signed with an MMA management company. She's remaining focused, however, on the 2016 Games. Harrison
wouldn't be the first Olympic medalist to transfer into MMA. Rulon Gardner did it after winning the Olympic Games. Ronda Rousey is a judo practitioner. She's taken all kinds of names in MMA, so it really makes sense that these folks who are doing world-class competition are now getting into other world-class competition. And kudos to her for staying focused on the 2016 Games. If Kayla Harrison plays her cards right and ends up on a major card like Strikeforce, I wouldn't mind seeing Harrison versus Rousey.
We could see that in the future. It seems like a lot of women are getting involved in MMA lately.
Women's MMA is getting hot, Drew. Like, no doubt. There's a lot of buzz going around, and I think we're going to cover that in the weeks to come. So, and hopefully, I hope we're a news source where people are able to get the latest on women's MMA, especially here in the region.
Exactly. If we get the news, we'll bring it to you first. Spike TV has announced a partnership with K1 Kickboxing. That'll begin airing in 2013. Kickboxing on Spike TV.
I like it.
Kind of fill in the void, I guess, with the loss of the UFC.
Well, Spike TV is filling the loss of the UFC with Bellator.
Oh, that's right. I
forgot
about that.
Bellator is coming from MTV2. They're MTV2, MTV, and Spike TV are all Viacom stations.
Right.
So Spike TV is filling the UFC void with Bellator. Now what Spike TV is doing with K1 is they're bolstering their combat sports programming with K1 Kickboxing. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about Seth Petrozelli going and fighting in K1. So us as American fans, we're really getting on the K1 bandwagon, and Spike TV is going to capitalize on it. I think it's a great move.
All right. Finally, UFC President Dana White, as we were talking about women's MMA just a little bit ago, he's warming up to the idea of women's MMA. But there's no foreseeable future for a women's bout. Do you see that eventually happening?
It has to happen eventually. Dana White has too many people saying, I'm going to pay money to watch women's MMA for him to ignore that there is a moneymaker there. Like I said last week and the week before, I think he's going to incubate women's MMA and Strikeforce before he brings them over into the UFC as a full-time thing. I think when he does bring women's MMA, I think Ronda Rousey is going to be the first one to wear UFC women's gold. I think Dana White is kind of hesitant. He's never really been big on women's MMA, but I think now as we as a culture and as a group of fight fans, as we're demanding it, he is starting to take notice that yes, women's MMA does have weight. It's legitimate competition.
Right. It's not just some side attraction or whatever.
No. It's not like the tough man. It's not like the UFC or MMA was when it first started as like a glorified tough man. Women's MMA now is a legit competition with serious players.
It's not like the back in the day, in the early days, where women's professional wrestling was a side attraction, and in a male-dominated sport, it's becoming more equal.
Oh yeah, it's not going to end up being like the gorgeous ladies of MMA.
Right.
It's not going to be something like that.
Because wow.
But I'm saying 2 or 3 years before we see women's MMA UFC title contention.
All right. Coming up in our next segment, it's the Rundown's Most Wanted. That's
brand new segment. Brand new segment this week.
Brand new segment debuting here on the MMA Rundown. That's coming up next on ABC 23. Stick around. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown on ABC 23. Drew Shannon, Albert Cameron, and right now is the debut of a brand new segment that you're so excited about. It is the Rundown's Most Wanted. Who do we have this week?
Jason Mayhem Miller.
I feel like we need to have the Dragnet theme or something like that in the background. If we can cue that up, that'd be great.
Yeah. MMA is a sport so young that we haven't really experienced anything like totally scandal. But I think Mayhem's getting us there. And as the mugshot you guys have just seen, right now he is #1 contender for being MMA's White Bronco. Miller,
nice reference, the White Bronco.
Miller allegedly. Now, as journalists, we can't come out and say he did it. We have to be fair.
We have to be fair and say allegedly.
Allegedly, he breaks into a church, smashes windows, throws books and CDs all over the place.
Wow.
Discharges a fire extinguisher in all levels of the church. Now, that's not the worst part.
No, it's not.
The worst part is the authorities go into the church to respond to shenanigans, and they find a Mayhem Miller laying naked on a couch. When the authorities asked Miller what his name was, he responds Mayhem. This guy is one Rob Schneider cameo away from being an Adam Sandler movie.
This classy guy.
Yeah. So, Jason Mayhem Miller, if you're watching, I don't know if you get the MMA Rundown in your cell block. Congratulations. You're on the first MMA's, or the Rundown's Most Wanted.
And by the way, to the fathers of all the young daughters out there, if a man comes to the door and says he's here for your daughter and to take her out on a date, and his name just happens to be Jason Mayhem Miller, shut the door and call the authorities immediately, because, wow.
Well, you remember who Mayhem was. He was the host of MTV's Bully Beatdown.
Was he really?
That
was the guy?
That was him.
I think I only saw that show like once or twice.
But it was awesome because, bullies were getting their comeuppance. Well, apparently bullies now go into churches, smash things up, and extinguish fire extinguishers.
Unbelievable. Well, there you go. Our first installment of the MMA Rundown's Most Wanted, Jason Mayhem Miller. And we'll have, I'm assuming we're going to have some, you've got some of the works, I can tell. Just looking at you. Look at this face. The wheels are turning.
Coming up, we got the mailbag, we got the Rundown Lowdown, we got the Spotlight Fight. You stay tuned right here on ABC 23.
Spotlight Fight is up next on the MMA Rundown on ABC 23.
Have you ever feared this happening or been annoyed when something like this has happened? One product can fix that. Secure Connect. Secure Connect keeps a retaining force against the plug, keeping it secured into the wall. You simply place each half of Secure Connect behind the plate, clip them around your cord, and push the yoke against the plug. That's it. You can use Secure Connect almost anywhere. Secure Connect provides the security you need with plugged-in electrical devices, and Secure Connect has earned the Good Housekeeping seal of quality. Every home in America needs Secure Connect. Order yours today.
Welcome back to the MMA Rundown on ABC 23. Coming up next, the moment that everybody loves, the spotlight fight. Jason Royer.
Jason Royer. This is one of the most heartbreaking fights I think I've seen live. Not to ruin the fight for you, but Royer gets cut bad, and I think this fight is a great display of the referee Chip Snyder and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission looking out for the best of a fighter. He gets cut not once, twice in the same spot in different directions. Once you get cut in an eyebrow ridge, the blood trickles in your eyes, you can't see, you cannot intelligently defend yourself. But it's a good fight to watch.
And for those of you who are squeamish out there, just be aware that there is going to be some blood coming up here. You may want to turn away or maybe head into the other room and just listen to the audio of the brutality that is about to happen.
Parental discretion is totally advised.
Yes. It's time now for our spotlight fight here on the MMA Rundown.
It's the MMA Rundown on ABC 23, and now it's time for the MMA Rundown Spotlight Fight.
Once again, this fight sponsored by El Campesino, and it is to be contested in the lightweight division. Introducing first, in the red corner, with a record of 0-1, standing at 5'10" for Blackman MMA, Jesse Busfield. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner with a record of 2-1-0, standing at 5'9", fighting for Team Dignan Broomba, Jason Royer.
My co-announcer Drew Shannon coming back to the cage. Drew, Royer versus Busfield.
We are back.
I'll tell you what, Drew, I saw Jason Royer at the weigh-ins last night. The man looks dangerous. He looks like he's ready to hurt somebody.
Royer with a shot to the head.
Royer weighed in light. Oh, those kicks are right to the
chest.
core.
Yeah.
Oh, Busfield answering though. Oh, those knees to the torso. Oh! Busfield with an excellent throw. The guys from Dignan Broomba, though, they trained Jason Royer to be dangerous here.
Calling for a bridge.
Yeah, Busfield fighting out of Team Blackman MMA. Steve, the Lethal Weapon Steve Blackman's team.
Yep. Keep going.
And actually, Royer is busted open.
Right around.
Posture.
Drew had said that the MMA is not a team sport with guys like Team Blackman, Team Dignan Broomba. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you. Jason Royer,
is busted open.
Oh, Royer is a veteran of Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts 1. His last fight was at Tussey Mountain. He won a decision over Scott Chandler.
And Busfield has no wins or losses to speak of, just a draw in his only amateur fight.
He only has a draw. He's looking to put a different column in.
Come on now. Watch your heads, boys. Come on now. Posture pass. Get out of there.
Drew, I don't want to say we're at stalemate, but I think both of these guys are so talented on the ground that both are effectively dangerous in either spot they're going to get in.
Posture.
Don't know about that.
Oh, Drew, Royer's bleeding badly.
Royer is, yeah.
He's bleeding.
Work.
Punches to the
Royer
ribs.
is working on the side.
Work him, Jay. Good. There you go. Good. Grind it back down. Keep it flat. Grind it. Take the chin.
Oh, Royer getting
both men back up.
Oh! Here's the core from Royer.
10 seconds.
Drew Royer's taking his... Oh! Now he goes!
Takedown.
Posture. You got it.
Drew, these are the points that Royer wanted to score in the judges' eyes.
And that is the end of round one.
We're calling the fight doctor in. Royer's cut, and he's cut badly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Complete Devastation ring girl, Courtney.
Drew, the fight doctor's in. That cut is right between his eyebrows, Drew. right on the eyebrow. It would not surprise me at all if the doctor calls this fight. If that blood's going to get into the eye.
There is a possibility that the fight could be called at this point.
If Royer cannot see, he cannot defend. Oh, they're calling the fight.
That's it.
Royer lost by cut. Oh, he's upset,
He is
Drew.
not happy.
Congratulations to Jesse Busfield for getting his first win. I can't imagine he wanted it to be that way, but Jason Royer is upset. We're going to go to Drew for the official decision, but I imagine they are going to call it a win by doctor stoppage. Jason Royer cannot see out of that eye. He cannot defend himself. He did a great job, though. Rob Lynn of Rob Lynn Photography in the cage. Be sure to visit roblynn.org. He does portraits, he does events, he does sports, he does it all. roblynn.org. Oh, he does weddings too. Again, this moment's really, really tense here at cage side. Jason Royer was again scoring some incredible offense. Jesse Busfield was answering right back with offense and defense, and again, that cut is just in a really, it cuts in the worst spot that it possibly could be.
Ladies and gentlemen, the doctor has stopped this bout after the first round.
The crowd here in Altoona, Pennsylvania is not happy.
Your winner, in the red corner, Jesse Busfield.
What an incredible show of sportsmanship from Jesse Busfield. He did not want to win that way. Jesse Busfield wanted to win in the column, but not by cut. He wanted to end the fight decisively. Again, all these guys are warriors. It would not surprise me if we don't see a rematch in the very near future. Royer and Busfield cannot be happy with that.
Jesse, I'm going to word real quick. Not a popular decision with the crowd, but it is a decision nonetheless. You get your win here. What are you thinking tonight, man?
I want a rematch. You're right. That's no way to win. That's unfortunate but, you know, what are you going to do? He deserves a rematch, and I want to fight. So we'll do set it up again and hang it out.
Sounds great. I would love to see a rematch. That first round was incredible. Give it up for your winner, Jesse Busfield. Give it up for Jason Royer, too.
Altoona is a fight town, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. We're going to switch it up this week. I'm going to read the mailbag.
You're going to read the mailbag. All right, it's time for our email Q&A, where you, the viewers, can send us in questions about MMA, about the MMA Rundown, about whatever. Email us at hosts@themmarundown.com. Albert, what do we got?
Well, today's question comes from Bud in Altoona, and Bud wants to know, he says, Drew, how did you get involved in ring announcing and the other aspects of fighting? What advice do you have for people interested in doing what you do?
Okay. How did I get involved in ring announcing? This started about, I would say it was the summer of 2010, when a small wrestling promotion that I had never heard of before, All or Nothing Professional Wrestling, came to the radio station that I work for, 105.9 Quick Rock. Quick plug for them. And they said they would like to advertise their wrestling show, and that they would maybe like to have us come out and do something. I recommended that, you know, I've always wanted to ring announce, seeing men like Howard Finkel in the ring and Michael Buffer. I've always wanted to do something like that. So I made a suggestion that maybe I could do a guest ring announcing spot. My general manager, Diana Stapleford, at the radio station, went to them. They said, let's talk. And I spoke with Mike Kessling and Jason Davis of Go Time Promotions. They brought me in as a one-shot deal. And from that point on, in speaking with them, they liked what I had to offer, and I began my ring announcing career as part of All or Nothing Professional Wrestling. Fast forward about a year or so, and Complete Devastation MMA started. And they said that they only had one ring announcer in mind, and that would be me. And that's how I got on board with Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts, and I've been doing their live events ever since. As far as, I'm not sure about the rest of the question, as far as the other aspects of fighting, I only do announcing. That's it.
You call fights for the...
Oh, you mean the commentary then? That just came from the professional wrestling side of things as well. I was part of the show, I still am, and do the commentary for the wrestling matches. It kind of parlayed over into the mixed martial arts world as well. What advice do I have for people interested in doing what I do? Study hard. Watch as many fights as you can, and if you're, just listen to the tone of the ring announcer's voice. I wouldn't say emulate it, but I guess that would be the only thing I could say. Try to do your best. That's a tough question, because this kind of thing just kind of fell into my lap. It just happened, boom, like that, and I never expected it to happen, but it did. But study ring announcing, study guys who do commentary if that's the kind of thing you want to get into. I highly recommend that you take some sort of a broadcasting, some sort of a journalism course in school, college, whatever you have to do, and maybe someday you can, be an announcer on a television show or for some sort of live event. That's the best I got. And if you don't make it off of my advice, don't blame me, because I'm just some poor schmo that got lucky. So,
thank you, Bud and Altoona, for watching. He's clearly gunning for your guys' job.
Yeah, well, yeah. Watch it, Bud.
Coming up, we're gonna get to the rundown lowdown.
You all right?
With Lenny Karlheim.
And Bud's gonna take his job.
Please don't, Bud. I love what I do. We're gonna get to the rundown lowdown with Cody Karlheim. Lenny.
Just call him Lenny.
Lenny.
That's coming up next.
Yeah. Right here on the MMA Rundown. Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special interview here for the MMA Rundown. I am here with Cody Leonard Karlheim. Cody, how you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good. Now, do you prefer to be called Cody or Lenny?
Lenny, usually.
Lenny? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what's stuck.
Nice. I was calling a Karlheim fight, and I'm like, who is Lenny? Because I've always known him as Cody. But you, last fight I called for you, it went well. It was in the Greensburg fight, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And who did you fight in Greensburg?
I fought Gino Trubiano in Greensburg.
And how did you feel about your performance there?
I was kind of disappointed. I came out and I was moving real well. I was happy with it, and then I got caught with one shot that dropped me, and he ended up getting a mounted triangle, but I ended up escaping, and then ended up finishing the whole way to the third round before they stopped for 17 seconds. So I mean,
it's one of those heartbreaking things.
It was a war for sure. I mean, in the first round I broke my nose, and then the rest of the fight I was swallowing blood and. Yeah.
Wow.
Bleeding everywhere. Got blood on the camera guy and everyone else, and his food and everything.
That's pretty graphic. That's pretty. Now, do you have a fight coming up soon?
Yes, September 15th in Clearfield.
September 16th.
15th.
Yep. And who did you draw for Clearfield?
Zach Hoy.
Zach Hoy. Now, Zach Hoy is no joke. How are you preparing for Hoy?
He's a striker. I know that much.
Okay.
Basically, working a lot of striking, making sure he has a long reach. So trying to work his reach and try and get inside on him.
So now you're part of this group who in this gym that have been training, who have really been bringing mixed martial arts to this area and really making a name. And you're getting out and expanding through Greensburg. What's the furthest you've gone to fight so far?
Probably Greensburg so far.
Greensburg, and there are plans to go out from there?
Yeah, I would hope to make it the whole way out to Ohio. So as far out that, I know a couple people have said about out towards Pittsburgh, like north of Pittsburgh, so out that way, and then potentially Philly, somewhere out there, hopefully.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's all over. The more I can get around, the better.
Oh, nice. Lenny, I got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to the fight in Clearfield. You and Hoy, I think, is going to be an excellent matchup. Where do you feel your next step of your career is going to go? How soon do you think before you turn pro?
There's no rush. Like I was talking to my coach, Jason, and everything, and pretty much amateurs can be all experience. So I want to fight. I don't want any kind of easy fight. Pretty much I want to fight the toughest guys for amateur. You know what I mean? Just I want to get most experience I can get for amateur. I'm hoping maybe 10, 12 amateur fights before I actually go pro.
Nice.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, again, we're here with Lenny Karlheim. Lenny, I am looking forward to calling your fight in Clearfield.
thank you, sir.
For you guys at home, keep watching this kid. He's got good skills. He's only going to get better from here. Again, you were watching the MMA Rundown. Lenny, before I let you go, I need you to look into that camera and tell everyone home that they're watching the MMA Rundown.
You guys were watching the MMA Rundown.
Well, that's going to do it for another episode of the MMA Rundown on ABC 23. One more thing in response to Bud's question. Sorry, Bud. It also helps if you have a decent speaking voice and enunciate clearly. Not just anybody can do this, and you can also practice on that as well. But that's pretty much it.
Absolutely. Drew, it's been fun.
It's always been fun, my friend, and we always have a great time doing this. We'll be back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, ABC 23, 12 noon. What do we have lined up next week?
Well, next week, we're got news and notes as always. You and I are going to be able to tweet together. You're going to tell me what you think. We got the mailbag. We have the countdown of the 10 worst nicknames in mixed martial arts history.
This is going to be really interesting. Plus, our spotlight fight features Brad Mountain from Complete Devastation MMA 5. You don't want to miss that one.
Drew, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. You've been watching the MMA Rundown on ABC 23. We'll catch you next week. Have a great week, everybody.